Hey guys, welcome back to another video of what if Shane killed Rick in The Walking Dead. So let's get into it. We start off by continuing off from where the saviors surrendered to the group, and the saviors were beaten by the group, and Negan was finally taken down. And now he's a worker at Alexandria. And then it's 1 year later. And then we'd see a hallucination of Rick happening to someone, and we'll catch up on who that someone is. And Rick says he finally did it, and that's all you. You're why the war ended. You're why we won. And then in the hallucination, the person who's hallucinating this it's Shane, and Shane says, well, if you didn't haunt me all those goddamn years, I don't think I could have done it. Shane says, you made me do this. And then it's 6 years later. We'd see Shane, who's not looking so good. And over these past 6 years, Shane's become a drunk. And he's really just been struggling with Lori's death. And Judith would still find Magma's group in this universe. And while Shane's just in his room in Alexandria, and then Carl comes to Shane's room and he says, you coming? Shane asks, coming for what? Carl says, and Carl would reply with, the Hilltop needs help. Jesus and Aaron found an injured Rosita, and she was supposed to be with Eugene as they went out on a supply run, but only Rosita came back. And they need help finding Eugene, so yeah. Shane asks, who else is going? Carl would reply with, Jesus, Aaron, Merle, Daryl, me, and maybe you, and Abraham. And Shane says, I'm coming. Shane says, come on, let's go. And when everyone meets up with each other, they leave to find Eugene. And during this, Carl would talk with Shane about how Judith found this group of 5 people a few days ago. And he says, they seem like decent help. And Shane says, yeah, okay, bud. And Carl asks him if he even heard what he said. And Shane says, yeah, okay. And Carl tells Shane, if you don't pay attention to what's happening in the community, well, you really haven't done anything for about a few months now. And Carl tells Shane, you gotta stop drinking. Shane tells him he'll stop, just don't be on his back all the time about it. And then Merle whispers to the group, he heard this sound in the barn or something. And he asks, y'all want to go check it out? And Abraham says, well, we gotta check it out. But if he's in there hiding, that could mean that there's a big threat out here. Then Daryl asks Abraham if he thinks that's walkers. Abraham would reply with, no, I don't think so. And the group go in the barn, and they find a terrified Eugene, and he's saying, they were whispering. And Daryl asks, whispering what? And Eugene replies with, the walkers, they were whispering. They were all in a big group, and they was whispering to each other. Shane asks the others if they think these walkers are evolving. But then they just ignore what Eugene just said, and they end up in a graveyard. And all of them would start hearing whispers. Carl tells everyone to stay alert. And then slowly, walkers would start coming everywhere. And more would just come. And then more, and the whispers would get louder and louder. And then the group would start fighting these walkers, apparently. And they put up a pretty good fight against this small little horde. And And the fight's going in the group's favor right now. But then Shane yells at Abraham, "Watch out!" And Abraham says, "What?" But then blood starts dripping from Abraham's head. Abraham's body would be covered in blood. Abraham stabbed in the back by a sword, and that sword is by one of the walkers. But the truth about these walkers is that they're not walkers. They're a group of people disguised as walkers, and they call their group the Whisperers. And Abraham is killed in this, and he falls to the ground dead. Eugene is in shock as one of his best friends has just died. Shane tells the group, "We gotta get out of here now. Pick his body and we're leaving now." And the group pick up Abraham's body and they would start running out. And while they're going, Eugene remembers all the times Abraham saved his life, and today was the last time he did. And Eugene would start crying while they're running back to the hilltop. And it takes them a whole day to get back to the hilltop, and they still have to explain to Rosita that Abraham's dead. And when the group are trying to decide on who's going to explain to Rosita what happened, and Eugene tells the group, "I'll do it, just for Abraham. But we're going to get revenge for Abraham on those pieces of junk mask hiding for Abraham." And then Eugene goes to the room Rosita's in. And then Eugene tells Rosita, "Hey, how you doing?" And Rosita replies with, "Good, you're back, Eugene. Where's Abraham?" Eugene tells her that he looks at her in a sad way and he would start tearing up, and she already knows what this means. And before Eugene can even explain what happened, he's like, "So when we were out there, Abraham tried to save me from these walkers, but then we found out they're just a group of people disguised as walkers." And then Rosita asks him, while crying, she tells him, "Please, just give me some time alone. I need to think about this. I need to think about what's going to happen next." Eugene says, "I'm sorry." But before he can finish, Rosita says, "I know. It's not your fault. Just go. Please leave me alone and give me some time to think. Please." And Eugene would do so. But anyways, guys, that'll be it for today, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye-bye.